Hey everybody, I'm Quinn.
I'm Scott. It's time for the Almost Friday show for April 14th, 2011.
Starting off and off the press, Mortal Kombat, the web series, has officially debuted.
Yeah, great.
Or, fighting of some kind.
I'm not that excited. I'm sorry.
Well, I think there are some people that are.
I guarantee you, the Mortal Kombat people are very...
They just want Sonya to, get knocked unconscious and her clothes fall off or something. I don't know. Well, that's what the people on the web want. It's the web.
We all know the web always gives people what they want. And from the gutters, we have an extra special treat this week. It's brought to you by the letter N.
That's right. We reviewed the letter M. Now we're moving on to the letter N.
I have high hopes for O and P.
Yeah, they look promising. In Tech Insight this week, lots of Microsoft news. Kinect, Windows Phone 7,
Windows 8.
IE 10,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Very weird for us to have a Microsoft week.
In Behind the Lens this week, we are checking out the GoPro Hero, the LCD backpack for the back of it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we're going to the lab. Sean's got some mad science. We're looking at holograms coming to 3D now, which I think makes a lot more sense than a television in 3D.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they're going to keep it all, contained. Because otherwise they escape and they take over. At least that's what I've been told.
It's a concern.
Yeah.
That's how it starts.
Without further ado, it's time for Off the Press.
Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Off the Press. Starting things off is Mortal Kombat Legacy.
Whoa, it's like a PvP thing, but it's not because they have other people.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 months ago a trailer came out but with Jerry Ryan in it, about some Mortal Kombat thing. People thought it was a movie, and then a couple weeks later it was revealed to be a web series.
Yeah.
Well, the first episode has debuted this week, and it's not bad.
It's well produced.
It's very well produced.
Very cleanly produced,
oh, yeah.
But we got Warner Brothers money in there.
Yeah, there is real studio money and real actors and stuff in it.
Real actors. It seems like there's real direction, real action direction.
Yep.
And
The action
the special
sequences.
effects studio seems to be doing a decent job as well. I know the special effects are pretty cheap now.
Yeah.
But I have seen them even with this fair affordability.
Mm-hmm.
I've still seen them done poorly, and I didn't see that in this first episode.
So since it's the first episode, I found it was a little bit slow getting into the action that I kind of expect in a Mortal Kombat series. But overall, the action sequences were pretty good. Something you'd see on 24 or something like that.
Yeah. I don't have any interest in the game.
No, neither do I.
So I think a lot of it was lost on me.
Yeah, same here. I'm just watching this because Jerry Ryan's in it.
I watched it because it was part of the segment.
That's fair.
But but like I was saying earlier to you, I think this really is aimed at the existing fan base. Mm-hmm. It really didn't feel like they were trying to invite anyone new into this.
Maybe, hopefully, a couple episodes down the line, something more awesome will happen, and it'll get more press, and the more people will start watching it as the episodes go on. Yeah. And what's good that this online is so you can watch it whenever you want. It's on TV, you miss the first episode, you're stuck, right?
Yeah, generally. Well, I think, and that's really appealing to the Netflix crowd, and what are the other ones on demand, stuff like that.
Yeah, like Hulu and YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
now, I didn't care about any of the characters.
No, neither.
And that is why it didn't really matter to me.
Mm-hmm. I recognize some of the names, but that's about as far as my connection with this goes. So maybe it'll pick up. I'll probably just keep watching it because the action is pretty good.
And it's a pretty short, it's 11 minutes?
Yeah, it was about 10 minutes.
10-ish
minutes, yeah.
So it's not a big chunk of your life.
No.
Worth checking out, I would say.
Definitely.
If you have an interest in action stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Moving on, we have a trailer for Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Previously called Rise of the Apes.
Which is funny because we got Rise of the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
And it's I'm wondering if it's the new, Crimson appeared in every title.
Yeah, it's the new Revenge of, the Rise of, something rises.
Yeah. I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah.
James Franco, I was kind of surprised. I didn't know he was in it, and oddly enough, I found it believable that he was a scientist.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I saw him, first thing I'm like, What's he? Is he like a scientist's son?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the scientist.
Okay. Oh,
But then I actually swallowed it, so you know.
Yeah.
But I thought it looked really cool, and
it definitely looks better than the most recent Planet of the Apes movie that came out. Yeah, but it's not really hard to look better than what that looked like. Just saying.
But the neat thing, well, not the neat thing, but the part that has me scratching my head is where did all of the apes come from?
Animal testing.
They have like a bajillion. You know what? Whatever.
Animal testing labs have a lot of animals.
Like 5.
No, it depends on the place.
Oh,
It was a really big building that they broke out of. Didn't you see the complex they broke out of?
Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
that's going to be something that I'm not going to pay much attention to.
No.
I have the feeling when I see the movie. So, and that's the thing. I will see the movie.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of the original Planet of the Apes. So this is kind of a, yay! It doesn't look crappy.
And that's it. It really does not look. It looks good.
It looks
polished. It looks.
At the very least, it'll be a decent sci-fi action movie. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
they got my money. Yeah.
Exactly. It's coming out on
August 5th.
Yeah, August 5th. So that's actually fairly soon for a first trailer to be coming out for this movie.
Yeah, it's pretty early, and it's a full trailer. It's not a wee trailer.
Yeah, so it's a full-on trailer.
Yeah. You can see that at the Apple website.
Yep.
In case
Or
you guys are wondering.
Or
pretty
show
much
notes.
any geek
anywhere on the
website will have a link for it.
So moving on. Speaking of theatrical trailers, we got Cowboys and Aliens, a shiny new trailer.
Shiny new trailer. I didn't get anything new out of this.
No?
It was just more stuff. It was like, here's some more footage. There's more talking.
That's good.
And there were some neat scenes with Indiana Jones on a horse.
You mean Han Solo?
Yeah, sorry. But beyond that, I'm not more excited for the movie, but I was already pretty excited.
Yeah, it's
anyway,
hard. It's hard to be more excited about a silly, awesome concept like this. And continuing on the movie news, we got The Hobbit actually starting in production now. It's not in pre-production anymore. They've actually started filming.
It was a video blog.
Yep,
There's a 10-minute video blog entry.
Peter Jackson.
Oh my goodness. And I was I didn't realize how much I really cared about these movies until I was watching the blog. It just really caught me. They played the music, and
when I first clicked it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. It'll probably be like a short 10 minute. Here's a set. Here's some hobbits. Here's some stuff. But it was actually something you'd see on like a behind-the-scenes extra on like the DVD set.
Yeah, it really felt like a DVD extra.
Yeah, so
it really did.
Here's hoping that in the next couple of years, as more of these come out, they'll collect them all together and throw them on the DVD set. So
that'd be really cool.
That'd be really sweet.
Yeah, and but yeah, it really. And I was not excited. Oddly enough, I was not excited about seeing The Hobbit.
No, same here. Until I watched this,
until I saw this.
This could be pretty awesome. I'm gonna keep following this.
Yeah.
So.
It got me right back where I was before the release of the third movie, and I was really super jazzed about that. And this has me, again, stoked.
Sweet.
So.
Moving on to some video game news. We don't really talk about that this much in this segment.
We don't really know.
No,
but there isn't a lot.
That's true.
It's usually BAM and it's already out.
Yeah. So GameSpot has written that Game Informer has some inside news on the Wii 2. And by inside news, they mean, yeah, they'll probably be announcing it at E3, but we don't know anything else about it.
Yeah.
First of all,
they've set sort of some conditions as to its success.
Yep.
But beyond that, it was a pretty blank article.
Pretty much all it said was, yeah, it's going to be probably most likely maybe announced at E3, and it's definitely most likely going to be in HD. Yay. Everyone knew that already. But
well, I think everyone assumed that already.
Yeah, but you know what? That's cool if the Wii can release the Wii 2 by Christmas this year, let's say. They'll, again, have a huge head start on PlayStation and Xbox. But that's assuming they don't do something stupid again. You know, like not releasing HD when HD was already available.
It's funny though, because Apple seems to get away with that every release.
But so does Nintendo, because the Wii is still. It's not still selling huge, but initially it was selling huge amounts.
You couldn't find it. You couldn't find a unit.
And it's still selling pretty steadily, but not as well as a PlayStation and Xbox. But that's because they've moved in now. But Nintendo seems to get away with this. But that's only if they innovate with like wang control or something. I don't know.
I don't know what that is, but I don't.
It's the
think I needed to
revolutionary new thing. It's the
explain.
Wii and the Wang. It's the Wii too. Anyway, moving on to our new releases. No speaking of Wangs here. In theaters this week, we have Rio. It's that crazy bird movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which it looks fun. It looks like
It looks like a good
family movie.
Good kids family movie.
We got Scream 4, which I have already heard some reviews on it because people went to see it tonight.
Oh, good.
And they're generally saying it's
It's a
good.
Scream. It's a Scream movie.
It's a Scream movie.
All right.
I saw Scream 3 and I was like, that's awful. It's just horrible. I don't want to waste my time watching it again ever. So the comment is, you know what? Scream 3 was kind of like an interlude, and now we're making another Scream movie.
All right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And on DVD and Blu-ray this week, we
Bum.
have Cars, the Pixar movie on
Yes.
Blu-ray, as well as The Incredibles,
Yay.
also on Blu-ray. Yay!
Which I wouldn't mind seeing. Actually, I wouldn't mind seeing both again, but I'm really looking forward to seeing Incredibles on a Blu-ray format.
That'd probably be pretty sweet on the big screen. Nice high def and everything.
Yeah.
Mm.
And for
finally,
games, Michael Jackson, The Experience.
for PS3 and 360, because it was already
Yeah.
out on Wii. This is basically like a Dance Central style dance game, you know. It's out for the Kinect on the Xbox. So that's basically what you're expecting. Is gonna be a dance game, kind of like a rhythm-based game, with Michael Jackson songs.
I don't really. Michael Jackson kind of passed me by, I think. I think probably 15, 20 years ago I lost interest and never really came back.
Surprisingly, a lot of my friends were into that in high school, but I never really got into Michael
I know
Jackson,
a lot of
but-
sort of 20 to mid-20s. That age group, they really seem to be like, wow, Michael Jackson's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
So.
like, yes, he's good, but.
All right.
Yep. And that's it for Off the Press this week.
Hi everyone, welcome to another week of From the Gutters. This week we're going to be talking about a collection called N. It's Stephen King's N officially. It was adapted for comic books by Mark Guggenheim and illustrated by Alex Maleev. I've talked about Guggenheim and Maleev before, usually to decent reviews, but this particular time they've adapted a story written by Stephen King. It was a short story, and it was simply called N, as in 99 balloons. Something like that. Anyway, an N. And the title is in reference to what one of the characters in the story calls a character that he's treating in psychotherapy. And I really don't want to ruin anything in this. If you haven't read it, if you haven't audiobooked it, if you haven't seen the comic book, if you haven't seen the motion comic, I recommend it. Stephen King, every now and then, does something really good. And I have found personally that when he does something in the Lovecraftian theme, and this is very much a Lovecraftian story, I have found him to be quite a competent writer. There are a lot of times where his writing is just sort of very easy to read, but not necessarily terribly innovative. Reading one of his books is great because, like, yeah, I read another really big book. But for this story, I really think he accomplished something. He really got a great feel for creepiness. And Mark Guggenheim did a really good job at turning those words into a comic book. Now, I haven't seen the motion comic, but after having read this collection, because this is a collection of the 4 issues that were originally done, after having read this collection, I'm actually very interested in maybe seeing on iTunes if N is available as a download. But generally, in a breakdown of the story, and again, I don't want to ruin anything because it's a good story, and I really think it's worth picking up. There's a character referred to as N who goes in to see a psychotherapist and talks about how his life has gone downhill. He has developed deep OCD, and it all stems back to his visiting a field where there are 7 or sometimes 8 stones arranged in a circle. And somehow that OCD condition is passed on to the doctor. And the doctor passes it on to his sister. And the sister passes it on, etc., etc. There was an extra bit that was not in the original story, added at the end, and it lost a little bit of the subtlety. And it's a weird thing saying that. Stephen King, wow, he did a great job with that subtlety. I don't typically say that. But he had some really good subtlety with the story. He didn't expose too much. He didn't take the story further than it had to be. And Guggenheim, because he's producing a new story, a new product based on a previously enjoyed story, he had to add something to it. It was still good, but it was not, it didn't need it, I didn't think. Alex Maleev's art, I like Alex Maleev. I don't love Alex Maleev. This is not his best work. I don't know, though, if that is because it had to be used, if they had to use his work and turn it into a motion comic. I don't know. I would be very interested in finding out a little more about the process of turning a comic book into a motion comic. There's a little bit about it on the Iron Man Extremis motion comic. Very good DVD, by the way. Totally worth picking up. But not his best work. But the strength of the story took care of that. Anyway, so all in all, I give this book a minus. It's $15 US. I would definitely say that picking up the soft cover, completely worthwhile. That's it this week from the gutters.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Insight this week. It's very Microsoft heavy. I apologize. It's Mix, which is their developers conference. It ends today. It's been going on for the last couple days. So a lot of the stuff that's remotely interesting has been Microsoft stuff.
It is pretty interesting, really,
It's very different from Microsoft.
Yeah.
They're doing things that are good and useful and innovative.
they've changed. They've come a long way.
Or they look like they've changed. Starting it off, they made an announcement. Okay, as you know, IE9, when it came out, we talked about it, can't run on XP.
No.
They've come and said IE10 will not run on Vista.
All right.
Which they're basically saying, forget our old stuff, use our new stuff, which is a very different attitude for Microsoft.
That is a very different attitude, considering they sit there and say, business, yeah, keep doing your thing. You know,
keep
you
buying
can take your time.
licenses, do what you want. Yeah, no, they're taking it. And in fact, the development early beta of IE10, which is just coming out the last couple of weeks.
It's probably the last.
Yeah, even that won't run on Vista.
Really?
So from ground up, IE10 is going to be built for 7 and 8. So that's kind of a...
That's a really big change. That's a big shift in their usual business standard.
I'd like to see that moved everywhere.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing.
It really would be.
Yeah. Speaking of Windows 8, so apparently this wasn't news. I got all excited when I saw this, and then there was an update saying, oh, by the way, it's been out for months.
Yeah.
But they're planning on having an app store.
But you know what I like about this article? The fact that they went to Apple and said, shove it, we're calling it the App Store.
And, well, they have a point.
They do have a point.
And so does everybody else who's challenged Apple, but the other people have been small guys.
Yeah.
So Microsoft's going, haha, bring it.
Yeah. Come at me, bro.
You can't trademark something as generic as App Store.
It's true. And luckily Microsoft has come out and said, you know what, we don't care. We're calling it the App Store. Apple, go ahead. We'll throw legal battle after legal battle, and we will call you out on things you took from us and and you can do the same thing. They've been doing it for years.
The thing is I don't know how they got this trademark, but they did, and it's way too generic to be a trademark.
Just money.
Well, that's not how trademark works, though.
Yeah.
Trademark you apply, and it's granted to you. There's no exchange of hands. and that they look at how the market is and that kind of crap, like the check mark on Nike or whatever, just
Yeah.
do it and things like that. Apps like convenience store, can you trademark that? No.
Nope.
Like it's the same kind of thing. But anyway, Microsoft's calling them out on it. So look for an app store on Windows 8. It looks exactly like every other app store you've ever seen. So I doubt it's going to be very useful.
Great big list of apps that you can download for X amount of dollars.
And I imagine it's going to be confusing because I'm sure Microsoft will screw it up with a point system or something.
I hope not. I'm hoping they take whatever the hell they're doing right now and they apply it.
Find the guy who suggested these things.
Yeah, and just be like, lead us.
They put him in
through
charge.
this.
Yes.
Because you know what, it's gonna happen. But anyway,
Now,
this one's kind of interesting.
This is the
though.
most exciting,
Yeah.
I think.
The Kinect.
Yes, so that's basically Microsoft's product of the last year.
Yeah,
Like their big products
And
sold like
it's
crazy.
surprisingly popular, but
Yeah.
not for its gaming thing.
Which it is popular, but
Even more so.
the more interesting side of its popularity has been all the hackers, right?
Yeah.
They've said, okay, well you got motion tracking in there, you got a couple different kinds of cameras, you got a couple different microphones set up for noise cancellation. What can we do with this thing? So they've been, they've been using it on Linux, they've been adapting it to the PS3, they've been doing
We had the story a couple weeks ago about the doctors using it in the OR.
Yeah. So
Things like that.
Microsoft came out at Mix and said, here's an SDK developed for it, for Windows. Which we expected. However, apparently everyone was really excited about what they allowed access to in the SDK.
Really?
So they allowed access to all the cameras,
Oh.
all the microphones, skeletal tracking built in.
Sweet. Okay.
So they have those API access. Basically, they do everything they want.
I was gonna say they kind of just handed you the thing. And
Yeah, they've given you full access, which is not really not Microsoft's game, but a lot of the times you don't see that. Like Apple hides some of their APIs on the iPhone, things like that. But they're going whole hog. So here you go. And really, this has just raised the bar of what people are going to expect out of this thing now.
Because now they're gonna have full control. They can do all sorts of new
They
things
don't,
with it.
they don't even have to hack it.
Yeah.
They can just dev for it.
This is going to get very interesting very quickly. I can't wait to see where people start using the Kinect because
And-
it's getting. It was already interesting before. Where is this going to go now?
For sure. And if you're interested in doing it, the APIs are accessible from Visual Basic,
Oh.
Visual C Sharp, Visual C++. Languages a lot of people know. Visual Basic is really easy to pick up.
Yeah.
They actually had a demo where the guy opened Visual Studio, had Visual Basic open, he had his Kinect plugged in. 5 minutes of simple code later, he's drawing things on the screen with his hands.
Huh.
So even if you're just curious, you might want to look into it because Windows does. They set up their APIs very well to be coded with, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a developer, but I do know a bit about code. So if they made it as simple as it looks, it could make the entry really easy, and then the people can go crazy with it.
I was going to say.
That looks really cool. Hopefully we'll see lots. And I think Microsoft probably has a more advanced one coming out, I would imagine. So that's awesome. And actually, everyone at Mix, this is how big Kinect is. Usually they send them home with something, right? You've all come to our conference. Everyone who's a full conference attendee at Mix gets a Kinect. So Microsoft usually hands out big ticket items for that. They'll give out like Windows 7, or
Yeah,
they'll give out,
they don't usually.
a
That's-
laptop with something on it, or something like that. So
Keep your eyes out, and if you own a Kinect, try and start doing some things with this. You can get very
look for
creative.
some apps. Look for some apps coming hopefully soon. So
I hope
that's
so.
pretty cool. Round off the Windows announcements, a little bit of mobile world. So when Windows Phone 7 was announced, Skype came out and said, nah, it's going to take too long to make an app. We're not going to be on Windows Phone 7. And everyone was like, oh, Windows Phone 7, that's not good for you.
Yeah.
Then Skype said, we're working on it. It's going to take a while. Then Skype said, we're really close. Now Skype's saying 2 weeks.
Huh.
So I don't know if Microsoft just here's a check, it's blank, fill it in.
Yeah, they might have. That wouldn't surprise me if they said, "Look, we really would." Skype being on mobile devices nowadays is killer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have it, it's true. You are dead in the water. But the fact that I think Microsoft has the money to be able to say, "Look,
Why shouldn't
we know
we?
you weren't going to do it, but here, we will pay you for it."
Yeah.
And
I don't. No, I mean, if you're going to be a big player if you're in this market, if
Yeah.
you're developing your own app environment, things like that. So why not throw your weight around?
Yep.
You got to compete somehow, and you got to compete with Apple, right? So if
Yeah.
you don't have Skype, you're not even competing with BlackBerry. So
That's pretty sad if that's
Yeah.
the case.
So whether they paid them or whether Skype just decided, Windows Phone 7 is doing pretty well, 'cause apparently it's not doing too badly.
No, I keep
I mean,
hearing...
it's not soaring, but it's steady, slow growth.
I mean, you said you saw some in the wild. I've not seen one yet.
In Ottawa. And, everyone's got Blackberries and iPhones. Even seeing Android phones isn't that common. I saw more Windows Phone 7 phones that day than I did Android phones.
Interesting.
So I actually thought it was a milestone, and I looked closer, and it was actually the
GUI for it.
that Windows Phone one that opens. I think it's an HD. I don't know any of those phones, but
The fact that he saw them is...
yeah, they must be doing well. So to see Skype coming in, regardless of how it happened, is a good sign for the marketplace.
Absolutely. So this next story I'm kind of curious about.
Not Microsoft.
Yeah, this is completely on Microsoft. YouTube venturing into live streaming.
Yeah, so we've been seeing that a little while. Like they did some big events,
Yep.
live streaming, and that's not a technology YouTube really has.
Yeah.
They store the video and stream it, but I think they've kind of seen that's where a lot of things are going. You see Twit building up a lot of viewers, a lot of money,
That's true.
doing all their they live stream all day.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing more and more news agencies doing it and things like that. So. I think YouTube kind of wanted to jump on the bandwagon, and if anyone's going to do it and kind of just jump to the top of the line,
I think it would be YouTube.
that's YouTube to do it, right?
I mean, you're already the most popular streaming service on the web,
Yeah.
and now they start doing live streaming. That's pretty cool.
And the way they're starting the live streaming, so they've got a live streaming page you can go to.
Mhm.
They're only letting specific partners use it,
Okay.
and I've been talking to some other podcast producers, and that we can't figure out which partners are getting it and why. Obviously, there's some big profile ones like Hack 5's using it. They're pretty big. I think another Rev 3 show.
I was gonna say probably a lot of Rev 3.
There was another big podcast that's up, but there were a few other big, I think it was like a local news agency or something, or a church, and things like that. But it's an open closed beta, so you just kind of appears when you're a YouTube partner. You have to be a partner. You can't just have a YouTube account.
Yeah.
But it is slowly rolling out. It's still in beta, so they're testing it with the people who are gonna. They got some high rollers to see, how can it take it? Is it efficient enough? And then they're kind of letting people adapt onto it. So apparently it picks up viewers pretty quick, which makes sense.
I was gonna say, I mean, a lot of other live streaming things like Ustream, like it's amazing if you have, depending on what you're trying, if you have someone going on it, we're gonna ignore Charlie Sheen in this case. But anything else, it's amazing how quickly those rooms fill up.
Well, that's like another producer I was talking to does another podcast. He said, I got the invite with my YouTube partnership, so I said, what the heck, I'll try it. Gets on there, 300 viewers watching him sit in front of a microphone. He wasn't even doing anything. He was he was surfing the web and wanted to see how the streaming worked. So hopefully that'll bring YouTube's market to the live streaming thing, and maybe that'll explode a little more, because it kind of seems to have plateaued except for certain people.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing some big podcasts break through when they have the time to dedicate to that kind of thing. So hopefully you'll see YouTube market that a lot better, and hopefully it'll start coming to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that'd be good.
I think we'll have to probably try one or two.
If we get the invite.
Yeah.
Who knows? YouTube?
Yeah.
That's it for Tech Insight this week.
It's kind of alive.
Nah, it's still dead.
Oh. Right, so, who's ready to do some science?
Oh, pick me.
Sam?
All right, so first up, we've got 3D holograms.
Woo!
It's been done before, but not in color and not this well. So
Or without glasses.
Or without glasses. So basically, a group of Japanese scientists have developed a way to make 3D holograms in color.
Okay.
So how this works is, the article isn't very clear, but if you click through to the links, it clears it up a little bit, but it's more scientific than the article. Basically how this works is that it has 3 beams of white light. It hits a thin metal film,
Okay.
and then the light turns it in different colors by going through
I guess a filter of sorts?
a filter of sorts, yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
and then
the-
it creates a full 3D image?
Full 3D image, color. It still looks pretty grainy, like Princess Leia grainy, but now...
I'll take that.
But with this, you can tell that Princess Leia is wearing a white robe and she has brown hair
Interesting.
instead of being all the same color.
That's really cool. And the fact that
Pretty
we
sweet.
don't need, glasses,
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so basically what this means is that sometime in the future we'll have even more awesome images than Princess Leia. which seems to be like the benchmark
I was gonna
right
say
now.
that is the benchmark, and I don't really get that.
Just a little sad. I think people should be aiming for, Star Trek.
Well, I guess because Princess Leia is kind of simple.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a simple hologram, so I guess that's why it's a benchmark. It's like, this is the low that we're going to aim at?
Yeah, it's a better, you're not being optimistic by aiming for
Exactly.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eesh. Still pretty, it's still pretty neat, though, the fact that they can do it in color.
Yep.
I'd like to see that more.
Now
Next
we're
one.
on to robots.
Yes, we have another robot. This one I absolutely adore for some reason.
Even though it wants to steal your jobs?
That's fine.
Tell that to the factory workers in Detroit.
Well, okay, look. This robot is called Frida, and it's a pretty elegant robot. It's actually very interesting how we actually have a video, and she's so elegant.
Yeah.
And the way that it moves, it's very, very precise. It's very smooth.
It's about the size of an average human torso, so it's a
Yeah.
little bit chunkier. It's got 2 arms and
Yep.
hand type things.
It has 2 arms, basically, if they were positioned on me, which would actually kind of be at my
just
chest.
like that.
But at the same time, though, it has the full range of movement of human arms.
Mhm.
So it is able to actually build things and do whatever it has to do. And it can work in conjunction with humans. That is,
Yep.
it'll build something, pass it to you.
Oh,
And then
cool.
you go on down the line, you build something else, you add whatever the human touch has to be,
Yep.
hand it off to the next bot. And it'll pick it up and continue on. It's absolutely amazing to see where technology is getting to, especially when it comes to manufacturing
What's
robots.
most impressive about this one is how fine it can be, the
Yes.
fine motor skills required for the types of jobs it was talking about in the article.
And it's apparently completely, like, it will adapt to anything you throw at it, which is
Awesome.
kind of cool. My favorite thing, though, is the fact that it can hold its hands completely steady while moving the rest of its arm.
Yeah.
Like, it can move its hands, it'll hold something, keep doing it, but if it has to move its arms for some other purpose,
for the
it'll
next
do
step, it'll hold it still, move the arm up, and then do whatever it needs to
it.
do.
Exactly. So it's kind of cool. So once again, if you want to get any more information, check out our show notes for the links, because it's a really neat robot. And
Very cool looking.
I think it's going to make its way past just being a worker bot. I think it's going to get into a few more things, or at least this technology.
You wanted it for making sandwiches.
It would make a great kitchen bot.
It would make a
Just saying.
really good kitchen bot, actually.
I don't know if I'd trust it with a sharp knife, but you know.
Vegetable cutting.
No, I wouldn't trust it with that.
I'd trust it with that than the knife I'd use to cut my meat. Just saying.
It'd still throw it at me, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway.
Last but not least, one of, I think, the ultimate scientific stories, unfortunately we were not alive at the time, was for, Major Yuri, sorry, I always screw up his last name,
Yep.
Gagarin. The first man to go into space.
Yep.
It was the 50th year, or 50th anniversary since that happened.
This past week.
Yeah, and at time of recording. And so it's pretty awesome that it went from one man getting shot into space on essentially just a bullet
Yeah.
and coming back down. Now, it has been revealed that, take it with a grain of salt, there's all sorts of articles coming out that are, saying, oh, he wasn't in the capsule when it landed. He had to jettison. Who cares? The man went into space.
The important part is he was up there.
He was in space and, held his breath for a few seconds. You haven't gone to space. Neither have I.
And if you have, send us an email, because
Yeah,
we
because
kind of like to go to space too.
we have actually interviewed a couple, or one astronaut.
This is true, we have.
Yeah. Well, anyway, though,
We would like more astronauts to interview.
that would be really cool. But just the fact that it's been 50 years and technology has it's changed quite a bit
Yep.
to get people into space. I mean, it's still pretty much jamming a great big old thruster on you and going up. But either way, awesome that this happened, and hopefully we can have more stories like this and be able to hopefully create some in our time.
That's true.
So that wraps it up for science. Well, I don't know why you keep watching, but get the hell back to work. We need more stories.
Hey everybody, welcome behind the lens this week. We got a few news stories before we talk to you about a camera. Top up, Apple finally announced a successor to Final Cut Pro.
So for the last couple of days, it's been NAB, which is the National Association of Broadcaster. It's their big trade show. It's where all the pro video stuff happens. There was lots of cool things announced, but honestly, a lot of it's above the content of this show, so we're not going to talk a lot about it. But the big thing was that people felt Final Cut was slipping behind. We in the studio, we use Adobe Premiere Pro because we work in AVC HD and we use DSLRs, and quite frankly, we don't want to sit around and transcode footage, which you have to do if you use Final Cut, but don't have to on most of the new editing. Well, that is now a thing of the past, as Apple has announced Final Cut Pro X. They're saying X, some people are saying 10.
Who knows?
I'm not sure whether it's officially X or whether it's 10. So it's a different ball game with this one, because it's kind of, if you took everything that was really good about iMovie and then everything that was really good about Final Cut and put them together, it's got more of an iMovie timeline, which is going to drive some editors crazy. But it's probably going to be really appealing to people that are getting into editing, because it's a little bit more straightforward.
I read the first half of it, and they're like, it's full 64-bit built up. It can handle 4K footage. You know, if you have an 8-core system, I'm like, oh, nice, pro level. And then I start reading the rest, and I was kind of like, they went, because before, literally, it's Final Cut Pro, right? Like, it was a full-fledged, full-level multi.
Now they're still calling this Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
But
it does seem to be a little, I mean, not feature-wise necessarily, but in the interface.
The interface seems to be a step away from the norm. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just different. So I think it's going to be, until we actually get our hands on it, it's going to be tough to say whether it's an improvement in the way we should edit video or whether it's going backwards. So like Scott was saying, it is Coco supported now, 64-bit. Takes control of Grand Central Dispatch, so it's using all of the RAM available to you. It's using background rendering like iMovie does, so it's rendering your clips as you're working so that you don't have to sit around and pre-render stuff. Some really neat things that they've added in is that you can start editing while the media is being ingested. So before you even have it fully in your system, you can start putting it on the timeline and cutting it up. I don't know quite how that works, but it's pretty neat. They've got this magnetic timeline, which allows you to drop things in and it moves stuff around for you, which seems pretty cool. It's got people detection, so it can actually look at shots and
like
tell that it's...
track one person or
Well,
something?
it can track people. It can also track types of shots, so a close-up or a top shot or a full shot, so you can search by those characteristics.
That would
and
be useful.
Self-determines. On top of that, it's also it's got instant color matching between clips. You click one clip and say, I want this clip to look like that, and it's going to match the colors between them, which saves a lot of time. It's smart collection, interesting keyword options, built-in stabilization on import. Also, a lot of people have been loving Pluralize, which is a really great third-party software that syncs up your audio video if you record them separately. And not only has Final Cut done this, but Adobe has also announced it in their new 5.5 update.
Yes.
So lots of people are bringing in this audio syncing into their new software. So it's looking pretty exciting. The big thing that gets me excited about it is the price point, and it's going to be available in June for $299.
Yeah.
Which is
big change.
Really awesomely priced. I mean, the thing is that the professionals were kind of going, well, where's our motion and where's color and where's our DVD studio and that kind of stuff, because if this is just Final Cut, where's that other pro gear? And Apple didn't really have anything to say except it's coming, so I think they might start compartmentalizing their software, which kind of makes sense because a novice video editor that wants something more than iMovie isn't necessarily going to spend $1,500 on the full studio when they really just want Final Cut.
I think what you're really seeing in essence here is Apple's targeting the middle market.
Yes.
They've kind of drifted out of the hardcore pro market, which I'm not saying, you know, the people who are in between the middle and, you know, some pros might use it because they're already on Final Cut and they like that kind of thing. I don't see anything that would pull me away from Premiere.
No.
Necessarily. But, you know, if
you hadn't bought anything yet,
yeah, exactly,
the price point would drive you to this
for
as an
sure.
option.
And especially since it saves you from, you know, if you're started on iMovie, which a lot of people do, you want a little more control. This bridges really well.
Yeah.
As from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to going from iMovie to Premiere or Eddie's Neo or, you know, anything like that, where it's a really different environment.
Yeah.
So,
I really feel like this is more of a Final Cut Express upgrade than it is a Final Cut Pro, but if it's got all the same functionality Final Cut Pro had plus some more, then it kind of justifies itself.
Yeah, so I think they're going to I think what they've done is basically they're going to sell a lot more of this.
Yeah, I think so.
So, you know, whether or not, you know, some pros are alienated or not, I don't know.
It was good to see them moving away from having to transcode footage because that was killing.
Oh, well, yeah, and I think it a little late, Apple.
Well,
you know, I mean, people have had, you know, Adobe's, I guess, 2 releases now, but, you know, a lot of other people have been having this on-the-go rendering for a little while, but, I mean, Apple can be that company that comes out and goes, here you
Here's
go,
our better version
and then everyone
of
will
it.
just buy it.
Yeah.
You know, well, whether or not it's better or not.
Well,
I mean,
true.
You know, it seems that they're kind of meeting the standard in most places. I think there are a few really cool features like that sorting thing.
Yeah.
That would break them apart. But well, I'm excited to try it.
I am too. So in quasi-tech news, Flip, which was a very popular small video camera, you've likely heard of them or seen them, was purchased by Cisco back in 2009 for $590 million.
Which was largely overpriced.
Yes.
But Cisco bought it anyway.
And this week Cisco said, yeah, we're not making them anymore.
I think what Cisco had is buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that doesn't fit Cisco's model at all. I think they were trying to get into video because they're doing that whole teleconferencing thing.
Yeah.
But then they bought them and go, wow, these do not make very much money. Because Cisco's a really big company. They run the internet.
Yes.
So when Cisco, you know, sells one router and makes more money than, you know, 100,000 of these flip cams, they're going, why did we buy this? That's what I got out of it. Because, I mean, they laid off a pile of people.
They laid off 550 people.
Basically, the flip division's gone.
Yeah, they
you
were
know?
kind of like, we're going to stop making this camera and you're all fired.
Yeah, well, because what are they going to do? They can't integrate them anywhere else,
It's
right?
true. I mean, it's sad to see it go because this was the camera that got the compact video camera generation running.
Oh, yeah.
This was the first camera that people said, you know what, this is small, this is cheap, I can shoot video with it, let's buy some. But unfortunately, things like the smartphone cameras that have gotten much better, and the video on my iPhone 4 is fantastic.
Yeah.
You've got things like Kodak's options, which were cheaper and waterproof, and everyone else is making them. Yeah, the GoPro, this kind of stuff. So unfortunately, Flip just kind of lost because they didn't make it.
Well, they didn't go anywhere after.
They didn't make
right?
their product any better.
No, yeah, but I think you can all these products can thank GoPro or not GoPro. Sorry, it's Flip.
Yeah.
Really to get that rolling.
Absolutely. So speaking of shooting with mobile devices, iFi has created their new X2 mobile card, which their new feature is direct device transfer, which is kind of neat. So what it does is if you've got an iPad, an iPhone, or an Android phone, you can download the app from the App Store of your various device, and you plug your card into your camera, and it starts shooting and creates an ad hoc network between your device, so you don't have to be on Wi-Fi with them. It'll talk to each other, and you take that picture, and then boom, it's on your iPad or it's on your iPhone or whatever, which I think is really awesome.
I think that what really makes it makes it a lot more useful because when the iPhone came out, I was like, yeah, cool idea, but I got to have a laptop on somewhere, or I got to have a desktop on somewhere, and they got to be on Wi-Fi. I got to think about it. You know, maybe if I'm shooting a lot, and you can't, you know, I don't want to swap cards or something, sure. But I mean, this. If you're doing an on-site photo shoot, and you got your iPad with you,
someone
you
could
can
be checking those files and looking at them, which is really cool. On top of that, I mean, especially with using an Android phone or a 3G-enabled iPod or iPad or something like that, is you can get that photo onto your thing right away and send it off to the web. So you can be proofing, or you know, if you're traveling and you happen to be, you know, you have 3G or you happen to be in Wi-Fi somewhere, you can get that stuff out there really quickly, which I think is pretty neat.
I mean, it removes a step.
It does, yeah.
And you know, a lot of people go, oh, well, you know, just put your... No, I mean, it's a cool feature.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I've always thought iFi cards were neat, but this is the first time where I think this feature would convince me to buy one. You know, now that I have an iPad and I'm trying to do more street photography, I would like this be like, boom, there it is. I can look at it, how's it looking. I can start editing. It's pretty cool. So the mobile cards are going to be available soon, and if you already have any of their other cards, it's a firmware update for it. So you don't have to buy a mobile card to get it. They're just making a mobile version that has it if you know,
help them sell it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's pretty cool. So on to our gear review for this week. We've got the wonderful GoPro cameras here. We love these guys. They are, in our opinion, the best action sports cameras out there because they have 1,000,005 different accessories for them, and specifically today we are talking about what's on the back of this guy. So the great thing about these cameras is they're super small and they're super wide angle, so you can put them anywhere. The problem was you could never see what the heck you were going to film until you got home and looked at the footage because there was no LCD screen.
So you could have, you know, been skiing, had a sweet shoot for to hit record, but you'd never know.
Now, GoPro could be a company that wants to capitalize on making more money and just say, you know what, we've made a new model with an LCD screen, go buy that one. But no, they decided to be smarter, and this is the reason why we like this company, because everything is modular. And they had a port on the back of their camera that was designed to use with further accessories. And what you could do is you can strap on this LCD backpack, as we have on here, and it just plugs into that port, gets power from the battery that's already in there, and there you go, you got an LCD screen. It's really good. You know, the quality of the screen, I mean, it's small, it's a 2-inch screen, but that's also because the camera is a small box. So it does what it can in the space it has. But the screen is fairly clear. It's easy to frame your shots with, and honestly,
you gotta realize what it's for, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, you're not gonna shoot a big cinematic scene with a GoPro and then want to review it for color.
No.
That's not what it's for. It's you just want to. Did I get what I wanted in my shot?
am I framing it the way I need to?
Yeah.
So now when you are placing it on your motorcycle or on your kayak or whatever, you're going to be able to take a look at what you're seeing first to make sure you're not just getting all the sky. So it's a pretty neat little feature. You can pick it up in Canada for about $99, which is pretty cost effective.
Not too bad.
And again, you get 4 different backs in the box, so they give you a waterproof and a air case for the regular version, and then you also get 2 versions if you're using the hand strap. So a couple different options there, and obviously the additional cases are still rated to the 180 feet, so you can use that LCD screen way underwater, which is kind of cool. So if you have a GoPro, buy this accessory.
Yeah.
Because it just makes life easier, and it's not expensive, and they're a great company. So that wraps up Behind the Lens for this week, and it also brings us to the end of the show this week.
Yes, it does. If you want to contact us, you can always do so on Twitter at almost_Friday.
Or if you feel like sending us an email, you can reach us at contact@almostfridayshow.com. So until next time, don't buy into companies that are going to go under because you'll lose a lot of money. Instead, you should buy into us, actually. Just,
No money lost.
Yeah, just
Guaranteed.
we're looking for angel investments, so go ahead and do that if you feel like it.
Almost_Friday.
Or contact@almostfridayshow.com.